This is going to be our finished application. The application is a very simple one. It shows the temperature, the image that represents the condition, along with the description. It will show the location and the date. And the background will have two conditions. Will show blue gradient background if it's daytime. Will show grayish gradient background if it's nighttime. Let's create a single view application project. Next, and then I put the product name weather, save, and I think the first thing that we want to do is to work on the interface. Right? So let's go to main.storyboard, and I will want to add a UI label. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be displaying the location of the user. So for now, we're going to change background color to blue because we want to eventually have the gradient background, and we want to have text color white. And right here we'll change to custom font, and I'll put medium and change the font size to 20, and let's say San Francisco. Yep, that's the location. All right, align it and add some constraints. So first one is the margin constraint. It's constrained to 40 points from the top, and we will align it horizontally as well. And let's change color to white. Okay, we're going to need another label. Oh, okay, let's copy that. It's a lot easier than creating new all the time. We'll change to 17 points, and to book for style, so it's not too heavy. Let's say Sunday. This is to display day. We're gonna need a few more labels. This is for condition, weather condition, right? Sunny, raining, something like that. And this one is for temperature. We'll put 20, a sample. And let's go a bit heavy. All right, or maybe medium. Okay, let's put the size 60. Yeah, that looks good. For me, I like that size. We're gonna need another label for degree C, right? The unit of temperature. We're going to edit emoji because degree C is not possible to type, and you find the degree C symbol there. We input it there. All right, let's work on constraint. For Sunday, we're going to constrain its margin top 2 points and then add center horizontally. And another one that we need to add is image view. That's going to be the image of the weather condition. All right, so right here we make it 200 by 200 points, and we add constraint, width and height constraint, and also margin top 30 to Sunday, and we make it horizontally aligned as well. And for this, we're going to do the same thing, align 2 points away from image view and then horizontally align. And for the temperature, same thing, but we'll probably choose 25, that's good, yeah, and horizontally align as well. For degree C, we'll try to align it to baseline of 20. Yep, that's it. So right here, control drag to 20, horizontal spacing, control drag again, release, vertical spacing. Okay, that looks good for the interface right now. Okay, let's find some images. Here are the images I've prepared that will represent weather condition. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add these images into our project. So you just select all, drag and drop into asset. So you can see here we have quite a lot of images. Okay, here we can add some sample. Let's choose 01D. That's sunny, exactly match the description. Let's run a test, see how it looks. All right, that looks good. Okay, that looks good. That's all right. Okay. You know what? I think I forgot something. We're gonna need a UI view so that we can apply gradient background to it. So I'm gonna put another view here. We want this view to be at the bottom of everything, right? So we drag it to the top. So it's kind of weird the way iOS work is on the view right there. The top is the actually it's the bottom. So right here for the view, we'll add constraint to 0 points from all margins. So basically make it cover everything, right? And here I'm going to change background to default. Okay, if you run into this problem, that's because -X it has extra space there, and in the storyboard we view as -8. So we're going to change to -X and we'll see the space there. Okay, no problem. We're just going to drag, scale it a bit longer to cover all the bottom space there, and then update constraints, and that's it. Run again to verify. Yes, it's good. All right, I think that now it should be time for a connection from interface to code, because we need to connect element of the interface into the code. So control drag there. We're going to say location label, control drag on Sunday and release there. We'll say day label, control drag on the image view. We're going to say condition image view. All right, connect and control drag on condition label, and we're going to say condition label. All right, and then a temperature label, this one. All right, I think that is it. Okay. Oh, I forgot one. We also need to have access to the background. So we're gonna control drag the background as well. We're gonna say background view. Okay, well, we need that because we're going to change its background color, making it gradient. We don't need this right now. Okay, clean up some codes. All right, so I think we're going to write some functions. It's gonna be the function to set gradient background to the background view. Okay, so we are going to create two functions. The first one is the function set blue gradient background. This is going to make the background of the background view blue ish gradient. Another function is going to be gray, set gray gradient background, that makes the background gray ish gradient. We are going to use these two functions to change the appearance of the background color of the application to signify whether it's daytime or it's nighttime. When it's daytime, it's going to be blue. When it's nighttime, it's going to be gray, right? So right here, we create a gradient layer, a CA gradient layer object, and then we add that as a sublayer for the background view. By doing so, the background view will change its appearance based on the gradient layer object. And the gradient layer object is basically an object that tells the render in the UI kit, the render engine of iOS, to render a gradient image based on the array of CG colors that we assign to it. So right here in the blue gradient color, gradient background color, we set top color and bottom color as a little bit blue, light blue from a little bit dark blue, and then we'll assign these two colors to the colors property of gradient layer. That will make it look blue, and the bottom is for gray. You can pause the video and copy the value if you if it's too fast. Alright, so you see blue gradient, it works. Let's test gray gradient background as well. Yes, it's gray. Now you see there's a little bit of a gradient effect there in the background. Now let's change it back to blue gradient background. Okay, I think that this is time to add some libraries, because we're gonna need 3 more libraries to do our work. So first of all, let's open the location of the project file. Let's close the project for now. Open terminal. We're gonna navigate to the project folder. So it's basically just cd drag and drop the folder there and enter. You're gonna be there in the directory. Now we use pod init to initialize pod file. The pod file, we will open it in any text editor you like, and this is where we specify what the libraries that we're gonna use. So we're gonna use these 3 libraries. The first one is Alamofire, SwiftyJSON, and NVActivityIndicatorView. These 3 is gonna serve different purposes. We're gonna talk about it when we write code. Now just run pod install. It's gonna download all the libraries from the internet and include in your project, and it will create quite a few files, especially the weather.xc workspace. That is the one you need to open from now on. You no longer need to open the project file. Alright, now we see that our previous code is there, but we also have another project. The name is pods, which contains the libraries that we just downloaded. Alright, let's run the application again. Just make sure that it still works. Alright, it still works. Okay, now it's time to start to continue writing our code. So first of all, let's import the libraries that we just downloaded. So Alamofire, we're going to import another one, SwiftyJSON. We're going to import NVActivity as well, and we're also going to need CoreLocation as well, because we're going to need to get users location. Okay. All right. Now, in order to get users location, we're going to need to add some items into info.plist, because this is required by Apple to specify the purpose of the application that retrieving users location. So we're going to type in there privacy and then location when in usage description. Location when in usage description. So this is basically just tell the user what do you do with the location data of the user. So we're going to just say we need your location to check weather, and we're going to have to add another one, privacy location when location always usage description. I'm going to say the same thing, right? We need your location to check weather. Okay, and in order for our app to connect to the internet, we also need to describe another one. We're going to need to add app transport security setting, and you're going to have to click on that arrow and plus allow arbitrary loads. You click double click on that and type yes. That is it for the plist file. Now we'll go back to coding. All right, so I will be defining some variables. Okay, but first of all, let's talk about this. OpenWeatherMap.org. This is a website that will take the data from, so you need to sign up there or sign in. I've already signed up, so after you sign in, you will get the API key right there, right? You copy that API key. Oops, it's not lookup. Copy. Okay, so copy the API key right there, and let's define some variable. So first of all, let's define API key. Here, the API key. Define some sample default value for latitude. We'll just put it whatever the number is. That is longitude. If you just put whatever number it is. This is for default value. We're gonna need to define the activity indicator as well. This is going to be for the loading activity, the loading dialog box that will display whenever we make requests to the internet. And we also need location manager as well. This will handle getting users location for us. Okay, now I think for the variables that is okay for now. Let's jump to function view did load, and let's work on activity indicator. Now here we define the size of it, so 70 point, and then we also define indicator frame, because the activity indicator will require us to set up the frame for it. It's going to be CE rect, and right here we'll have to calculate a little bit based on the width of the activity, the size of it that we define 70 there. Then we'll be able to calculate where the X should be and where the Y should be. And for width, it's gonna be the size, activity size, indicator size, and then height also indicator size. Okay, now we can define activity indicator view itself. We say activity indicator equal NVActivityIndicatorView, and for frame we'll say indicator frame. For type we're gonna use line scale, There are quite a few types you can look up on its website. The color is gonna be white. Padding, let's put 20, right? 20 will make it look good. All right, now let's set its background color as well, because it's white, and then we'll set black background to it, so to make it look pop a little bit. We'll add that activity indicator to the main view. I think that is it. So the activity indicator is set up properly now. So if you want to display activity indicator, the animation, the loading animation, just call to start animating. If you want to hide, call to stop animating. Okay. All right. Now that activity indicator is done, let's work on getting users location. Okay, we're going to say location manager dot request when in use authorization. So this is going to pop up the allow or don't allow to access location. You probably have used to see that dialog before already. Okay, and then we can start animating, because there we will the application will go to after user click allow, we will start getting information about location. So we want to display the activity indicator as well. And right here we'll just check whether location service is available or not, or enabled or not on this device. If it is, then we'll start setting up some parameters like delegate. We're gonna set to self. That makes us implement that make us be able to handle function of location manager. And desired accuracy, we'll choose best, and then we'll call to start updating location, and right there the application will try to get location data from the user. And because we implement CL location manager delegate, we can also implement function location manager did update location. This function will be called whenever the location information is updated. So we can get the information about location from the locations parameter there. We will take it will give an array. We'll take the first one, and we'll get the coordinate, the latitude assigned to our latitude variable there, long, and location coordinate and longitude will assign to our long there as well. So right here, okay, there's problem. That's because lat long we'll set lat, right? We'll change to var. We'll change to var. That should be okay now. Okay, wow, that takes long. Okay, now we get all the information needed to make requests to the server. So we're gonna work on Alamofire as well. Okay, we'll say Alamofire.request, and we'll put the URL that we need to request to, and that's gonna be http api.openweathermap.org, and there's no s, .org slash data slash 2.5 weather, and here we add a latitude and a longitude as well. And we also need to define our API key, or here we'll say app API. And we also need to define unique. We'll take metric. It will give us back in degree C, and we'll say dot response JSON to expect JSON response back from the server. Okay, right here we say response in. The response variable is gonna be the response from the server. So when we get response, we can stop and hide the activity indicator. Okay, now we can start reading the data, the JSON data that is responded back from the server. Right here, we'll just try to extract the data, see if it's okay to extract. Here we start working with JSON class, which is the class in the SwiftyJSON. So right here, we get weather object. Actually, weather is an array, so we get its first element, assign it into JSON weather variable, and we'll get the temperature as well. See JSON temp icon name. We're gonna take from JSON weather. The key of it is our icon dot string value. Okay. Now, if you wonder how do I know this, it's because I read the documentation and I read the response from the server. Now let's go to web browser, and if we go to this URL and we replace the data, okay, lat will replace in lat here, lawn we replace in lawn there. Okay, and our API key. Yes, the API key. Okay, here. Put it there, enter, we'll get this response. Now, this is JSON response. Now, if you see weather, right? Weather is an array, a JSON array. You see this square bracket, it means that these comes in array, but there's only one element in there, and so we take that element and assign to JSON weather. JSON temp we take from main, right? JSON request main. If you look at the data, it's JSON response, not JSON request. JSON response main, right there, it contains all this information. JSON weather icon. Right. So about icon name we got from JSON weather, and the key is icon. If you look at that, we'll have JSON weather. That's the icon. Okay, 03D. And we also have 03D image there as well. And name is here. This is the location, the name of the location. So if you want to access it, it's gonna be JSON response, and then the key is name, right? So we're gonna say self dot location label dot text equal JSON response dot of name dot string value, right? And we'll do condition as well. So condition image view dot image is going to be equal to UI image. It's gonna create a new image object and assign to image view icon name. Now condition label versus self dot condition label dot text equal it's going to be JSON weather of main dot string value. You see right there, right? Main over there, it say clouds. And for temperature, if you want to take temperatures, it's in main and then temp. It's in JSON temp and temp. So we'll say self.temperature label the text equal. Right here, we try to round it. We don't want to, because sometimes we get it in decimal value. We just want to get integer values. So right here we'll try to round it and convert into integer value. So we'll get the value from JSON time, but we need to import foundation so that the round function will work. JSON time of temp dot double value. I think we'll need to add another one. Yeah, okay, that should work. All right, I think we can run a test. Okay. Okay, so here there is the dialog box that asks whether a user allows the application to get the location or not. So this is in simulator. It gets the location of Highland Bay Wood Park somewhere. So we also need to work on background, because we know we want to change background. If it's nighttime, we're going to change to night. If it's not daytime, you're going to change to blue for daytime, gray for nighttime. But right here, we will get day first, day of the week. So we'll use date formatter to get the day of the week, and it's very simple. So we just use date formatter dot string, and then we give the date object, and then we will get the day of the week, because the date format we use EEEE, that will give us back a full day of the week in string. It's Sunday, that's correct. Now let's work on background color. Now you can see the icon is the moon icon. That must be at night. We want the background to be gray if it's at night. If you take a look at the data, you see the icon name, there's D at the end, and D represent day. If it's night, it's going to be N at the end. So we can take that suffix, and then we can check if suffix is N, then it must be night. Now, if it's night, we'll set gradient background. Otherwise, we'll set blue background. Right? Okay. So if we run the application again, we should expect to see gray gradient background. All right, it works. Okay, I think that this is it. And oh, another one. If for this location update location, you can, when you get the location data already, you can call to stop updating location to preserve battery life, because because if you do not call to stop updating location, the application will still try to get location or try to monitor location. Whenever there's change in location, it will call to this function again. And I don't think that our application will require constant location monitoring, so we can call to stop location there to save some battery life for the user. In the description of the video, you can find a link to download the source code of the project along with the assets that I used. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments below. And if you like the video, don't forget to like it. And also don't forget to subscribe for new video. Thank you.